When we left off, we set out sailing into the Chilean channels aboard our friend Gary's boat, Sea Rover 2.
I open my eyes and I look at the sky, so very gray. It looks like it's about to cry. I'm heading out through the waterway. I'm gonna find.
Well, this is pretty hardcore. I don't think we'd ever go that far, I hope, but that's serious. Just some tree logs as their boat stands and scaffolding. And God, I tell you what, it looks like they're even hand carving out some of those. What are those even called? Like a stringer? I don't know what those are called, I'm not sure. A wooden boat builder. Someone will tell us what they're called, that's for sure. Yeah, and there's a couple of huge ones over on the other bank, but I'd be curious to know how long it takes them. Go check it out. You can see all the wood shavings up here underneath, actually. Yeah, so we just noticed that these remnants of you can see this tree log sawn in half. That's where they're getting this wood from. Just past that, you can actually see all the fresh sawdust and the fresh logs that they've milled right here. We're on the island of Isla Manchuque now. It's pretty cool. And it's supposed to be a little. This is the town of Manchuque, and we're gonna go check it out and see. There's not much here probably, but you know there should be like a little tienda or something like that. But we're just gonna roam around town and have a little look. Sun's come out a little bit, the rain's holding off at the moment.
Estudiando
ahora usar eléctrico.
Eléctrico.
Sí.
Sí, cepillo eléctrico, todo eléctrico.
Mucho más rápido.
Sí, mucho más rápido.
Upon walking up into the village, we found Don Paulino's museum, with a collection of items from the island and a friendly host to tell us all about them.
Esto, centolla,
Centolla.
fondo del mar.
Sí, es similar a ese.
Jaiba.
Jaiba.
Jaiba, pancora, allí se le dice en Chiloe.
Okay.
Pancora, jaiba.
Jaiba.
Walking through town across the tidal flats, we saw the typical palafitos, built right up to the water's edge on stilts. This is the ferry dock here on Manchuque. It's pretty cool. It's just like a nice concrete ramp that goes all the way down into the water. And it's just this little boat here. It's a ferry. It goes, I'm not sure where, I'm guessing between some of the islands. I know we saw one of these little boats pull up when we were over on Anhui.
Heading out on a trip to nowhere. Gonna find somewhere to be free. Don't know why I even bother. Gonna see if I can.
Back aboard Sea Rover 2 with our friend Gary, we hauled up anchor and set off sailing through the surrounding islands to the south.
I'm Gary. The boat name is Sea Rover 2. We've owned her for 8 years now. We've got an Oyster 43.5, 1985. It's been down in Chile. This is our second year down here.
And you say we and us a lot, but your other half is not here right now.
No, she's back making money, so I can play.
Good there? Want to say anything about today's conditions since we left?
Well, we've had a little bit of boisterous conditions. Someone might have made the right call about putting in a reef.
It's been a good sail though.
Yeah, we've had a good sail.
Upwind.
Really good sail.
Beating our way upwind, about 15 knots true wind.
Gary, you have anything to say about charts?
Yeah, the chart said that it was going to be 15 meters or more, and we got down to 9 and it was dropping really fast. So that was kind of exciting.
So let that be a lesson that you don't ever trust your charts. We always go over this multiple times, but it's like, you need to trust what you're actually seeing at the time. So a lot of people rely solely on the piece of paper or the chart, the electronic chart or whatever it is. And at the end of the day, it's what you see right out in front of the boat or from your instruments on board that you're going to go off. Not like, the chart says it's 15, so I'm going to stay here when it keeps going down.
But now we're back into 100 meters of water, so it's all good.
Weaving our way in between some islands and a little shoal, obviously, out there that we cleared. And we're headed to a place called
Kiwi.
Kiwi. You the cow whisperer?
Yeah. That's how you speak cow.
As we walked around the island, we found one of the region's iconic wooden churches. Built from local timber and a unique style with wooden shingles, many of these churches have been listed as UNESCO heritage sites.
¿Cómo estás? Bien. ¿Hay un ferry de aquí para Castro?
Lancha.
Sí, un lancha.
Sale mañana, a la mañana.
Mañana.
Llega luego y sale a las 7.
¿7?
7
Ok.
justo.
Ok, aquí en
Acá
Momoy.
mismo.
Ok, y regresa por la tarde.
A las 4 sale de Castro. Está llegando como aquí como a las 6:05, por ahí 6:10 más o menos.
Ok. Ok, es un lancha, ¿sí?
Sí.
Ok. Ok, muchas gracias.
Still ever helpful that Hillary speaks good Spanish, and I'm sure it's difficult to understand. It's very different, a little slightly different, depends on who
Yeah.
you talk to, but you understood him all right?
Yep.
Alright.
So we now have 2 confirmed people that says there is a boat in the morning
7
at
a.m.?
7 a.m.
Sweet.
Back behind me, that is the ferry over there, just dropping people off on the other island, and it's about to come over here. It's coming in from Castro, so that's the boat that we will take tomorrow from here early in the morning, 7 a.m. over to Castro. It's always good to ask a few people. We're asking some people in town, they said no, the ferry's not running. Then you talk to a few more and it turns out it's more of like this local type boat, not an official tourist ferry, but there definitely is a boat.
Well, it looks to me like we've got 2 of the ferries here rafted up beside each other, and it's 6:30 a.m. here. They leave, or one of them at least leaves, at 7 a.m. off to Castro, which is where we're going to go today, Hillary and myself. And it's a gorgeous calm morning here with a beautiful sunrise about to come up behind me, or behind you. So take a look at this.
Everyone's lined up here, all the cars have showed up, everyone's waiting in the car. The ferry's just about to pull up to the dock here. Got our 2,000 pesos, we're ready to go.
On board one of the locally built wooden boats, we settled in with the local families for a 2-hour ride across to the town of Castro on the big island of Chiloe.
Today we're in the third oldest continuously inhabited town here in Chile. This is Castro on the island of Chiloe. And behind me is the Church of San Francisco, or Iglesia San Francisco. And there's been a church in this place basically since like 1576 was when they kind of first established a church here. And it's been rebuilt and burnt down and rebuilt a number of times. The existence you see here is from around 1900, 1910, I think, of the previous century. And we're going to go in and have a check it out. So come on in, let's see what's inside. The architecture in here is absolutely gorgeous. You wouldn't think it from the outside. The outside of this is all galvanized steel or sheet metal, really brightly colored, but you walk inside and wow, you're gobsmacked by the woodwork. Everything is wood, all these pillars. The woodworking in here was done by all local carpenters on Chiloe, and it's just another example of all the boat building we've seen and some, it must be amazing craftsmanship that comes from this area. I think a lot of it was mostly all local woods. I wouldn't know the proper names. There was definitely some beech and cypress. I wouldn't be able to pronounce the other local woods that were used. And it's quite spectacular.
As we wandered through town, we saw the palafitos, or stilt houses that the town is famous for, and then went to check out the local market, selling mussels and the most typical Chilean fish, congrio, which is actually an eel, sold either gutted or gutted and skinned.
The local schools here in Castro on Chiloe, and I don't know what all these desks and chairs are doing on the fence, if it's just the end of school or if it's something to do with all the protests. I know the signs they have hanging up seem to be to do with all the protests and stuff going on here in Chile.
Back aboard the lancha, the boat was loaded with locals and all the goods they bought in town to bring back to Chiloe.
We made it back to the boat here on Chiloe.
Upon arrival, everyone began to work hard to offload all the things that had been brought back from town. Everything from dog food and animal feed, to building materials, and of course, soft drinks and beer.
And that's it from us. So thanks very much for watching. Appreciate all of you out there.
If you enjoyed, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe, and until next time,
Adios.
adios.
Manchuke! This is not Manchuke. I have to learn this one, which is Kiwi. 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 Kiwi.
Kiwi.
Kiwi. Yeah, okay, Kiwi.